Hi, welcome back. My name's Jamie. I'm founder of Journey Life Now. We're gonna do a reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising for the month of October 2025. Okay, so this is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of October 2025. I just want to discuss a few things before we start. It's a reminder that there's a full moon coming up in Aries, in your fourth house in the beginning of October. And it's connected to the new moon that happened in the end of March, in your fourth house. And, you know, some of the themes that may have played a part was maybe asking yourself, like, where do you come from? Like, you know, your ancestors, your background, you know, growing up, like, what did that look like? For some of you, you might have wanted to purchase a new home, some type of real estate, start some type of business at home. What else? Maybe also, like, understand what you need in order to feel safe, right, at home, and also emotionally, right, and psychologically. So exploring those things, like, what is it that you needed, right? And around June-ish, right, there may have been some emotional tension in regards to what you started like a few months before, right? And then here we are, we're at the full moon, right? And this just brings to light some of the things that you have learned in the past 6 months, right? There's, like, you've hit the peak. All the work that you've done has brought you here to get a better understanding. So, you know, you've tried some stuff worked, some stuff didn't. You have a better understanding. Do you know everything? No, because no one knows everything, right? That's why, like, we have these cycles. That's why it happens every year, right? And that's why you build. So there is that. So you do reach some type of clarity, right? There's some type of light shined. But for the next 3 months, right, there's time for you to kind of, I would say, like, work out the kinks. Sorry. You know, it gives you, like, the ending of this story that you started in March, but also you're quarter of the way through to what you're gonna start in the end of October, which happens to be in your 10th house, right? So there's a new moon in your 10th house that has to do with your life path, right? The legacy that you want to leave. It has to do with your long-term goals, but in regards to career, to work, right? It has to do with the relationship that you want to build with your bosses, with your leadership. You know, and if you own a business, like, it's like, okay, what does that mean for you, right? Like, how do you show up as a leader? Like, how do you show up for the world? It has to do with the role that you play in the public, right? What does that look like? What do you want it to look like? Because if you're playing a role now, then that means, like, maybe you want to change. Maybe you want to polish. Maybe the way people see you is not the way that you want to be seen, right? So starting that definitely. Also, Mercury enters your 11th house, right? Scorpio. And that's just communication ideas, having to do with your long-term future goals, personal future goals, right? What role do you play in groups? Or do you want to play a role in groups if you're not part of it now? You know, asking yourself, like, how do you contribute to a bigger cause, right? So those are some of the things that you might want to do, you might want to start, you might want to start learning about. Okay, it's just a few little things. A few little things, they're huge, but yeah, it's nice, you know. It for you, it's hitting a lot of the major parts in your life, right? Your inner world, your outer world, yourself, right? When the quarter moon for the new moon that started in March, the last quarter, I mean, right? The finish for March, and the first quarter for the new moon in Libra that's going to happen at the end of the month, your answers kind of come from you, from your first house, right? It's about asking yourself, right? Like, who are you? Like, who are you? And I think if, you know, if you have an understanding of who you are, you can then shed light, right, to your legacy, the role you want to play, right, and what you need to feel secure, right? And it's about exploring your public life, right? So you don't know at this point because that just started, but you're exploring through what it means to be you, right? And not taking anything less, right? Not trying to fit in, you know, when it's not who you are, because you're going to be very unhappy, right? It's like knowing that, I don't know, you're a square and you're trying to fit the shoes of a circle. It's just not going to work. There's going to be unhappiness all the way around, right? So that plays a major part this month. Okay, all right, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising for October 2025. Huge month, man. Huge. Wow. Humongous. Okay, like, wow. Kappa, here we go. Okay, so this month is all about manifestation, right? It's about you having everything in front of you and understanding that law that says as above, so below, right? So in essence, it's saying, like, understanding that your subconscious rules your conscious mind, right? So if you have a healthy subconscious, you have a healthy conscious mind, right? So, and also if you want to go one step further, like, we can go to the universe, but we're just going to start here. Okay. And you have everything. You have the ability to, I don't know, start some type of relationship if you want, anything that you want, it's there because you hold the magic, right? Your issue right now is your creativity. So you're standing in the way, right? Because you've lost your creative juices. Your creativity has gone bye-bye, right? For some of you, it has to do with motherhood, responsibilities, the things that, like, are you have to do your obligations, right? And you feel like that's holding you back from what you have to do. But we have to work around that. You can't stay stuck there, right? No, you can't, because you have the ability this month to create magic. Okay, so there is you discover something that you want to do this month, right? There is a new passion. So somehow you've worked it out and you've decided, out of everything in front of you, what you're going to work on is maybe starting some type of business. And finally you get to, either through research that you've done on your ancestors and your background and the needs of people, something happens that it literally unblocks you because you've been stuck. And you're just like, yes, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. It doesn't matter. This is it. Right? And then what you realize is that you've been working towards it. So it's like, holy shit, wait a second. So how is this possible? I didn't even know what I wanted to do. Right? But it's magic like that. It's like, damn, I've been planning this and I didn't even know what the hell I was planning. But thank you. Right? There is, I will tell you, just be cautious that there is some sneakiness happening around you. And if not sneakiness happening around you, you just have to be clever about a situation, right? For the better good, right? So, yes, lies are not nice, right? But there are times where you have to withhold information because the timing is not right. Don't release. Hold it. Okay? It's hard because you guys are so truthful. You're just like, "Grr," right? You just like say it how it is, but it's asking you not to. Not because what you're saying is wrong, but it's just not the right time. Okay? It tells you that you have this generational wealth. You have this knowledge. You have this backing. You have it all when it comes to everything that you can possibly need physically, right? So if you guys want to start a business, right, you have like the computers, the sewing machine, the templates, right? What you didn't have was your creativity, right? You didn't know what the hell you were going to create, but you have everything that you need. You really do. And it's asking you that when you come across what you think is a problem or you get stuck, right? It's asking you to go to your grandparents, go to your great grandparents, go to your parents, go to the elder, because they know, they've been there, right? And what your job is to sit there, listen, and take what they are telling you and bring it to the present time, right? Because the answers are there. Okay? This month, it's going to feel like it's not physically moving, right? Like it's not moving. There's like a standstill. You're like, okay, but it's happening, right? This stuckness is happening because there is something you have to see differently. Okay? Something in your environment, something having to do with your friends and your family, right? Something that's outside of you. Look around. Something has to be different, right? Seen different, right? So there was a betrayal that happened, right? Someone stabbed you in the back, right? And that shit was painful. But you're putting too much energy into it. And even, let's take this one step further. You're taking that experience, that event, and you're bringing it now into situations that have nothing to do with that betrayal. right? So it's telling you not to bury it, right? Because you don't want to carry that, but it's telling you to work through it and release it because it has no business in your life, right? Right now it's a fear. Whether you want to believe it or not, right? Because Capricorns don't fear. But I'm telling you now, right? If you were never cautious when it came to, I don't know, meeting new people, and all of a sudden you're like a little bit cautious, baby, you just brought that experience with you. What it's telling you is no. Work it out, right? There's a celebration. You're recognized at the end of the month, right? So this project that you start, right? This project that you start that you didn't even know you had started, right? Here we are. It's recognized. You are recognized. You are celebrated. People are seeing you, which is cool, which is really, really, really cool. During this month, right, it's two things. You're either going to have to remember who you are, right, because you're going to need strength, which just tells me that there's going to be a situation, sweetheart, where you're going to have to control yourself and not react and respond, right? Like you're going to want to lash out. Don't lash out. Don't do that. You've worked so hard. Don't do that, right? Understand that it's okay to be upset, right? It's okay to be upset. But then it's about, okay, your mind is way stronger, right? Way stronger, way more powerful than other people, right? So it's about like having this understanding between, that's weird. Having this understanding between your body and your mind, right? And always keeping it together. It's a flow that happens, right? Your body shouldn't be upset because your mind got upset, right? It should be like, no, it should be like someone annoyed you. So you, okay, understood like, okay, wait a second, like what's happening? And calm your body down, right? And vice versa. If you feel an outside threat, you should then turn around and understand, right, what's happening. And again, this flow that happens, right? In and out. So yes, that's huge this month. This month is humongous. It's actually like super beautiful. Super beautiful. But you know what's not here? Love. Which tells me that it's just not important right now, which means that you're probably good, right? So if you're in a relationship, it's okay. It's fine. If you're not, you're also okay. It's fine. Right now, it's not about love. It has to do with the major chapters in your life and how things are working out for you, how you have to move, how you want to manifest. It has to do with like, you know, business and passions and things that you want to create, right? It's all about creation. Because you know that in that, right, if in that creation and with your mind being good, then the emotional part of you is fantastic. Okay, we're gonna see if there's an event, right? So for some of you, if there's health related issues that you've been like nervous about, like you literally have been nervous about, it tells you that you do find the solution. You do figure out like what's happening. Okay. Your roots. Something, you find out something about either your health that makes you nervous, about your family origin, so your ancestors, right? And there's a group. It's either like a group that comes together. You might find out about some disease that runs in the family, something along those lines. But there's like a solution to a situation, right, that you couldn't find a solution to. Okay, so that's a thing. That's cool. But it can also be like, because you couldn't find it, you're nervous. So your nervous system is like, ah. So that's here, right? Bring it down. Bring it down. Balance, 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 balance. You know, if your mind starts to go crazy, you know, what you do is you go and you meditate, right? You go and you take a walk. You go hug a tree. You go walk in the grass, right? To bring yourself back to center. Even if that means like to remember, right, that you have a body. Your body, okay, I have a brain, right? Most people do. No, people do. It's that flow. When one thing becomes too much, right? So you're too much in your head. Now let's go to your body, right? So that's why you go too much in your body. Let's go to your head, and it's this flow that takes place, right? And then when those two meet, that's what's called living in the present, which is awesome. Okay. These are the Mystical Wisdom card deck. Okay. Oh, again, this came up for another reading. I'm not sure who, but it's Archangel Raphael. It's provider of healing for the mind, body, and spirit. Right? Same exact thing. You know, your three entities, right? And then the fourth one being your body, right? Even though this is like body, spirit, and mind, it's like, you know, soul, thoughts, emotions create your body, right? That's why they say like between your soul and your emotions, what regulates the two and keeps them balanced are your thoughts. That's why it's very important. Okay. Thank you for sticking with me. Subscribe, like, comment. That would be so beneficial. Okay. Love you guys. Until next month. Bye.